called Sigue Sputnik and put them on the road to success. Their first recording contract, and of course, what you have to say is a bit of international notoriety.
Slight international notoriety.
I mean, the gear and the dark glasses and the pink shoes, obviously done on purpose, Tony, because it wasn't part of your normal tradition, was it?
I think it's kind of captured people's imagination,
yeah.
You know, and obviously one needs to kind of look a bit more startling and interesting.
Yes.
You know, to,
I mean, did you ever worry that the image which you set out deliberately to attract public attention might actually get in the way of the music?
I don't think so, because I think the image and the music are just equally important. You know, I think it's important the medium we're going to be on.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the things that I find fascinating about you is that I see in the information about you that not just are you an international pop star, but you're a mathematical graduate, and one doesn't automatically associate the way you dress or the music you play with that type of background.
I know. I mean, unfortunately, because of the image painted by the tabloid papers about the group, people kind of tend to think that we're going to be mindless morons. Yeah. You know, which of course we're not.
Yeah. No, of course you're not mindless morons, but did you you deliberately set out to learn a bit more about the music industry than just actually playing it? Because when you were offered an enormous contract, I think by EMI, you made sure that you looked after the business end of it.
This time we felt it's important that groups actually start to look after their own business and they take care of business themselves. You know, I mean, the image of most pop groups is 5 guys who have a kind of Svengali who looks after them. You know, the typical guy with the big cigar and, you know, the dark suit and whatever, who guides the boys through their career, you know. And I think we're trying to set a new precedent where actually groups can be seen to take care of their own business, seen to be in control of their own destiny, you know. And means you have to be up early and a bit more together.
Well, this is what I said. I mean, how does it interfere, or does it interfere, actually running the business side, with your own creative talent and your own performance?
It is really hard to do everything, although the various members of the group take care of various ends of the business. Obviously, it's not just me. You know, I tend to look after the actual pure business side, for instance, you know, with the accountants and the lawyers, and Neil, the guitar player, looks after the recording side, and Martin kind of looks after the image side of the group. And obviously the 3 of us, you know, put together other things together. But it is hard. But I think it's good that we're aware of what's happening to ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, otherwise one tends to live in a kind of toy town rock and roll world where you don't really understand the real world, you know. And that always seems a problem for groups, you know, that once they've been playing, after a while they become totally divorced from reality.
That's right. You see, I think that younger people listening to you now will actually, you will set them a different example, an added example, because what you're saying actually is, look, this involves work too, as well as enjoying yourself and being entertaining and going to nightclubs and punching the odd photographer.
It's much more satisfying as well if we can have stood up and said, we did it ourselves. You know, I mean, we may make mistakes along the way, you know, we may make some good decisions, but we can stand up and say, we did it ourselves, you know, and then it means whatever decision is taken, we're to blame, you know, so we have to be in control of ourselves. And I think it's better, you know, than the classic image of the pop star as the kind of drugged out idiot or drunken idiot thrown out of a club. You know, I kind of see that as a completely old-fashioned image of rock and roll, you know, because it's a shame, because I read all those books of the rock and roll business and believed all those stories. You know, and there's this romantic vision of the bloke who's kind of lying on the floor of the basement, you know, but it ain't that great.
No, and it's hard work. One final question, please, in 2 seconds. What happens when you go into a shop for a pint of milk, dressed like that, with the hair?
Well, they, you know, usually recognise me, funny enough. This is a haircut that can get you into any club for free.
Tony James from Sigue Sputnik, thanks very much indeed for being our first guest. It's nearly 8:45. We'll take a break. Join us soon.